Lots of news in banking today, including the acquisition of Laurentian Bank by Fairstone and National Bank. We're joined by Lorne Steinberg, president of Lorne Steinberg Wealth Management. Great to see you.
Great to be here, Andy.
So finally, Laurentian Bank, it's been a long, painful story for investors. Maybe you can put up a 5-year chart, but it is coming off the public markets.
And finally, I mean, Laurentian has never been able to compete with the other Canadian banks, never been able to get their technology act together, don't have the capital. This is a great deal for shareholders, and even though there will be layoffs, the Caisse de dépôt in Quebec is in favor of the deal. It'll be better for their customers as well as National Bank takes over the loan book and deposit book, and it's turning a chapter. No more Laurentian Bank branches in the province of Quebec.
The shareholders in Laurentian Bank get something. They get $40.50.
Absolutely. I think it's at least a fair deal for shareholders, and they can redeploy their capital elsewhere, and the deal looks like it makes a lot of sense for everybody.
But it looks, from my reading of it, it looks like Laurentian's branch employees and branches will all be gone. National Bank's just shutting all that down. Exactly.
They're simply buying the deposits and the loans, National Bank. Fairstone's going to buy the commercial operations, and it's a sad day for the employees.
Yeah, there's some vague assurance that they'll be eligible for jobs at National Bank. Yeah. Talk to us about Bank of Nova Scotia. It looks like they are delivering under their relatively new CEO. He's been there about, I think, 2 years
Almost
now.
3 years.
Oh, 3 years.
Almost 3 years. Wow. In February.
Not that new. Yeah.
And, he took over. They embarked on a strategic plan, de-emphasizing Latin America and redeploying capital, Andy, and really more domestically, U.S., wealth management and the like, coming off a rather brutally bad 10-year period for the stock. Mm-hmm. And for shareholders, let me say the strategic plan seems to be working. It's well underway. Significant improvement in wealth management, certainly in capital markets area, and ongoing, and international as well to some degree, but the Canadian operations still have some work to do.
Yeah, I'm just looking at broadly provisions for credit losses, about $1.1 billion, slightly above what Raymond James was watching for. I guess provisions for credit losses are going to be a hot topic this reporting season.
They are, and so far we're not seeing, don't expect to see any huge increase in the PCLs, I have to say. Canadians are still in decent shape, and interestingly enough, in the last quarter, so far, bankruptcies and on the consumer side and business side have actually been a tick lower a bit. But if this economy continues to moderate, for sure that'll be an issue.
Which banks do you own, Lorne? Can you give us some idea?
We own the big five, actually.
Okay.
The only one we don't own is National Bank.
Oh.
We own them in different weightings. National Bank we are most bullish on only because the valuation is such a wide valuation gap between everybody else.
Sorry, Lorne, National Bank you're less bullish on? Or?
National Bank we're just less, but sorry, Bank of Nova Scotia we are most bullish on.
Oh, I see, sorry.
Because of the valuation gap, lower price earnings ratio, lower price to book, but really this big improvement we expect Bank of Nova Scotia the next couple of years to outperform in terms of earnings per share growth the rest of the sector.
Maybe we could put up a 5-year chart for a Bank of Nova Scotia or even a 10-year chart, because I'm not clear actually whether they're back into record territory yet. Some of the banks, as you know, have been doing that. It looks as though they are near a record anyway.
Sure, yeah. But they've underperformed the rest of the sector in a significant way. Listen, I have to say it was a bit of a surprise. This new CEO came from outside of the banking sector. But maybe they needed a fresh pair of eyes to really focus this business, and I think they're doing a very fine job.
What is your feeling on the worry that AI is something of a circular bubble, that NVIDIA gets big contracts and then uses that money to invest in its customers?
Sure. So the positive side of AI, like AI is real. All of the Canadian banks are laying people off in large part because of AI. The issue is all of the so-called AI tech and communication companies, the NVIDIA, Alphabet, et cetera, they are plowing so much money into capital expenditures the next couple of years, in the hundreds of billions of dollars. There's a question, will they get a return on all of that money? Or is this becoming a game where everybody's trying to outspend the other player? And one of the risks we see in the markets going forward, in 2026, if these companies' earnings deteriorate somewhat, there could be quite a long way to fall for some of those companies.
A couple of stocks on your radar here, Nestle and Unilever, global consumer products giants.
Sure, this is one of the many ignored sectors. And Nestle, if you're buying it, you're getting it close to a 10-year low. Again, new management, we're looking for earnings to rebound over the next few years, close to the double-digit level. Coffee's their biggest business. Pet food is their next biggest business. They distribute all Starbucks coffee, actually, that is not sold in a Starbucks. And so this is a company that is extremely cheap, biggest food company in the world, poised for some good earnings growth. Unilever, a little bit more advanced in their turnaround. They're experiencing better earnings growth. But again, both of these companies, a massive global footprint, somewhat ignored by investors with everybody flowing money into tech.
And so offering decent prospects, those two.
Decent prospects,
Yeah.
also good dividends, healthy dividend growth going forward, and best in the business.
Lorne, thank you very much.
Andy, it's great to be here.
Lorne Steinberg, President of Lorne Steinberg Wealth Management.